Welcome back to another episode of A Traveling Perspective. In this video, we're traveling to Santorini, Greece, just as they emerge from lockdown and start welcoming tourists to this beautiful island once again. So, get your vaccine card and your passenger locator form from the Greek government ready, and let's get traveling. Jumping right into our trip, we kicked it off with a sailing tour around Santorini. We went through sunset Oia, and we had a great time. The tour lasted from 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and included a full lunch and drinks throughout the trip. The cost of the tour was €290 or about 340 USD for the both of us. Go for it. Cold? Cold or not?
Is it? Cold? That's cold.
Does it make you feel like you're in the lake back in Minnesota?
The one lake? It was incredible.
Yeah, nice little dip.
Yes, I smell like sulfur now, but well worth it.
Do you actually? I don't smell any sulfur yet.
I smell kind of like a penny.
Although Aaron was a little apprehensive, we rented an ATV to check out some ancient sites around the island, as well as some beaches. So this is the prehistoric site of Akrotiri here in Santorini, Greece, and this was a civilization that started around 5000 BC, so about 1,000 years before all the ancient Egyptian history that we read about so often, and it really peaked around 3000 BC. During the Bronze Age, and it's actually known as sort of the Greek Pompeii, and it was covered in volcanic ash after a volcanic eruption around 1700 BC. Like Pompeii, it's very well preserved. After a bit of fun on the runway, we jumped back on the ATV and headed down the road to explore Red Beach. After realizing that Red Beach was a topless beach, I quickly put the camera away to avoid finding myself in a Greek prison. This is called Fiancé Instagram Duty. After a big day out and as the sun was setting, it was time for one of Aaron's areas of expertise.
So we're here at Santo Winery, and we just concluded our tour, and we're about to start our tasting. Santo Winery is the largest winery on all of Santorini. They make beautiful white wines as well as a few rosés and red wines. What's really cool and very unique about this winery is it's 4 different levels, which actually mirrors kind of the geography of Santorini as a whole. Obviously, it's very kind of high and cliffy, but what's really cool is that they actually take advantage of the different levels in the winemaking process, and so as they're crushing and fermenting the grapes, the wine kind of flows down the different levels through kind of the crushing and the aging process and into the bottling, and yeah, that's very interesting. Great tour, beautiful views, and we are excited to try some wines. Cheers, John.
Cheers, Aaron. So here we are at the very start of the hike with the Atlantis Hotel in the background. I had to make sure we went and touched the actual wall of that hotel. Aaron thought I was a dork, but it's the start of the hike. You know, you want to do the whole thing. And if you don't touch the hotel, you're not doing the whole thing. So here we go. Blue for sure. Yeah.
She's ready.
The hike from Fira to Oia, or Ia as some pronounce it, takes around 4 hours and is conveniently marked with signage along most of the route. Make sure to pack some water and a hat as you are exposed to direct sunlight for a majority of the hike. So this is kind of the main detour of the main route, Skaros Rock. So we're gonna head down there now. There's some really pretty spots where they have like wildflowers growing, it sounds like. So try to get some cool photos down there, but just the walk itself in between the two edges of the sea looked pretty cool too. Erin's laughing at me right now because she knew I was going to stop and talk about this. But this is a really cool example of good government. It is a sign from the European Union that just lays out what this project is. So apparently it's part of a Monuments in Nature series. And this is the Efferate of Antiquities of Cyclades. And it even has the project budget on there, 170,000 euro. What do you think? You were just fascinated by that, weren't you?
Yeah, I like to spend all my time reading the government signs when you have stuff like this to look at.
It's a part of the entire story though, Erin. You're skipping chapters if you're not gonna pay attention to things like that. That's one of the things that I love most about travel as I catch my breath. It's like, is that even in our super connected world and all the knowledge that we have access to, you can still go to places like this where you feel like you're discovering the edge of the earth. And obviously I understand millions of people have been to Santorini and probably just about as many have done this walk, but nonetheless you can still come here and see these amazing geographic features and just really feel like you've arrived at the edge of the earth and kind of have it all to yourself. Pretty cool. Travel is pretty cool. The rest of the hike is pretty straightforward and even more beautiful than these images suggest. The landscape as far as the eye can see is dotted with beautifully situated hotels, beaches, and even a few donkeys grabbing some shade. This is sort of the spot to take beautiful photos of Oia. You got the windmills in the background that used to churn up bread, I think.
I have no idea.
Churn up wheat into bread, something like that.
I just think they're really pretty.
Yeah, well they are that too for sure. And then not much for the blue domes in terms of what's visible behind us, but yeah, certainly a little bit more shopping type of vibe here in Oia, maybe some more upscale type shopping as you walk along the marble walkways as opposed to the sort of uneven stone of Fira. But overall, I would say not a whole lot different visually, aesthetically as Fira, but yeah, pretty good vibe nonetheless. Can't really go wrong in Santorini. Yeah. The hike was worth it.
Hike was amazing. Have to do it. Definitely a little bit strenuous. Be prepared.
Not for the faint of heart. There were some parts of it that if you were afraid of heights or just prone to thinking you're about to fall off the edge of a caldera, then probably not the hike for you. But in terms of the athletic ability or the fitness needed, I'd say it's pretty average.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, just careful of loose rocks and things like that. But when the payoff looks like this, I think just about any hike would be worth it. Pro tip here, hang around in Oia's main square to grab the bus back to Fira. It's €1.60 as opposed to a €20 cab. I'd be remiss if I didn't quickly shout out Enigma Suites, our hotel during our Santorini stay. Every view from this place is gorgeous, as you can tell, and the staff are incredible, providing every little detail to make your stay perfect regardless of the occasion. A big thanks to Krissa in particular. What's been your experience coming here as Greece is pretty much just opened? We're here sort of the last week of May, and they've been open to vaccinated Americans and folks with a negative test or proof of immunity through having had COVID already for about 6 weeks now. But the restrictions for Greeks themselves and travelers to this country have only been lifted really for about a week. So,
bars and restaurants opening? Well,
yeah.
not even bars, just restaurants.
So you could have takeaway up until about a week and a half ago. So I think it was May 14th or so, and there's still a curfew, I believe as early as like 7 p.m. till 6 or 7 a.m. the next day. So really we're here at very much the opening of this country, and again, I've said this before, but feeling grateful to have been allowed into the country and to be able to see this island as sparsely populated with tourists as it has been.
Yeah, I think that's been probably the most incredible part, and it's a little bit of a double-edged sword in saying that it's been almost completely empty in terms of tourism. I mean, obviously there's some other people here, but like just, we were able to get so many beautiful photographs and videos, not make reservations, just kind of stroll up, do whatever we want at any given point, and that's been so incredible. But at the same time, it's like you want tourism to come back very, very much so for the economy. I think all of the people that we've met here who work in the tourism and hospitality industry have been just so lovely, and you know that Greece's economy just really runs on tourism.
Yeah, I mean, walking around Santorini, in addition to hearing about the beauty of this place, you also hear about the hordes of tourists. Usually you've got cruise ships coming in every single day, many cruise ships coming in, bringing sort of a whole new population of daily inhabitants, of folks just walking through the markets and things like that. And we have experience in it. I think we've seen 2 or 3 cruise ships in about 5 days.
And I don't even know if any have docked here.
No, I think they're just passing through. And some of the most idyllic Instagram spots around the island. You go and there's maybe 1 or 2 people to contend with. See this place show up in a lot of photos. Orthodox church back there. And today there are maybe 4 people in the square. So in terms of COVID restrictions, we kind of already talked about it, but masks are still required indoors in restaurants and the museum we went to today. But other than that, most of the restaurants here are outdoors anyway, so the waiters and things like that, they still wear them, but tourists, for the most part, you really don't have to wear one. Most of the tourists that come here are vaccinated, so hopefully there's a negative impact on the island from folks coming in. But I'd love to come back anytime. Could definitely see us going back here. It would be interesting to contrast this time with 2, 3, 4 years from now when tourism is fully up and running here. Really enjoyed our stay, and looking forward to editing this video. It'll probably be our most beautiful yet. Always is with Aaron involved, of course, in front of the camera. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, and hope you enjoyed learning a bit more about Santorini. Hope that you'll come out here yourself soon for a romantic getaway, or a girls trip, or a boys trip, whatever you want. Santorini's kind of got something for everybody, so hope to see you out here soon. Peace. Applied with dark chocolate, which I'm excited about, but tastes a lot like a port wine, which is very good. We had those in Porto, Portugal when we were there, so this is my favorite part of the wine trip.
Cheers.
Yamas.